Have you ever met someone who carried a calm so deep it felt like silence before a storm? Someone ordinary on the outside, but with a past so powerful, even the toughest soldiers would hesitate to speak their name? This isn't fiction. This is a story of respect, mystery, and the moment when a Navy SEAL realized the stranger sitting across from him wasn't a stranger at all. She was a legend. And before we dive into this story, make sure you subscribe to Grow for Justice, because here, every story we tell reveals truth, courage, and the people who changed everything without the world even knowing. And hey, comment down below, Kanasi Dek Raiho? Let's see how far the Grow for Justice family reaches today. It was a quiet morning in Norfolk, Virginia. The air was crisp, the kind of autumn chill that made coffee shops hum with low chatter and the soft scent of roasted beans. Navy SEAL Chief Aaron Blake had come in just after dawn, off duty, wearing plain clothes, yet still carrying that unmistakable presence of discipline. Upright posture, scanning eyes, a stillness that said, warrior. He'd earned his scars in silence, surviving operations that would never make headlines. But that morning, he wasn't thinking about missions or medals. He just wanted coffee, a moment of peace before deployment. He stood in line, scrolling through messages, when he noticed her. She sat alone by the window, late 30s maybe, calm, reading a tattered paperback. Her hair tied back, jacket simple, no insignia, nothing special. Yet something about her drew his attention. Not beauty, not posture, something deeper. A presence. She looked aware, like she could sense every person in the room without lifting her eyes. When his order came, he took a seat 2 tables away. She looked up once, their eyes met. Just for a second. But in that second, Aaron felt something he hadn't felt in years. Recognition. He leaned over and said politely, "Excuse me, ma'am. I know this might sound odd, but have we met before?" She smiled faintly. "No, I don't think so." Her voice, calm, steady, confident. But he could tell she was measuring every word, every movement. Years of training had taught him how to read people. This woman was either law enforcement or it was something far more elite. "Were you ever stationed overseas?" he asked. She hesitated. "Once or twice." He noticed a small scar near her wrist, surgical precision, not accident. Then his eyes fell on a pendant hanging around her neck. It wasn't jewelry. It was a tag, faded military issue. But instead of a name, just 2 words were engraved. Ghost 9. His heartbeat spiked. He whispered the words out loud, barely audible. Ghost 9, her head tilted slightly, eyes narrowing. "You know that name?" The mug in his hand slipped, crashed against the table, coffee spilling everywhere. But he didn't care. He stood frozen. "You're Ghost 9? The cafe went silent for a moment. She didn't answer. She didn't have to. That silence was confirmation enough. He reached instinctively for his phone, dialed a secure contact, and murmured, "Commander, I think I just found her." The voice on the other end stiffened. "Found who?" "Ghost 9. The line went dead for 3 seconds. Then the voice came back, quiet, urgent, almost fearful. "Stay where you are. Don't lose her." Aaron's mind raced. Every SEAL, every covert operator had heard the name Ghost 9. A myth whispered in Black Ops circles. A phantom operative who vanished a decade ago after an extraction mission in Eastern Europe went south. No records, no burial, no trace. Some said Ghost 9 wasn't a person, but a code. Others said she was real, the kind of soldier governments pretend never existed. But she was sitting right there, sipping coffee. "Why are you calling your commander?" she asked, her tone calm but firm. Aaron blinked. "You're supposed to be dead." She smiled faintly. "That's what they wanted." He leaned closer, voice trembling slightly. "What really happened that night in Kaliningrad? The mission that wiped out Task Force Echo." Her eyes turned to the window, distant, haunted. "They weren't wiped out," she said softly. "They were sacrificed." He froze. She continued, voice barely above a whisper. "We were sent to retrieve a captured diplomat. But there was no diplomat. It was a cover-up, a trade. We were never supposed to make it out alive. They wanted ghosts. And they got one." Aaron's throat tightened. He remembered fragments of that classified file, the mission that went dark, the satellite loss, the erase logs. She was the only one unaccounted for. You've been off-grid for 10 years, he said. Why come back now? Her eyes met his. Because the same people who ordered that betrayal just got promoted. Before he could respond, a black SUV pulled up outside. Two men in suits stepped out, scanning the cafe. She sighed, took a deep breath, and said quietly, "You have 2 minutes before they realize you're not with them." He frowned. "What do you mean?" She stood up, leaving a few bills on the table. "You're about to get a call. When you do, walk out, don't look back." As she walked past, she paused beside him and whispered, "Tell your commander Ghost 9 is done hiding. If they come after me again, I'll bring everything down from the inside." Then she was gone. Seconds later, Aaron's phone buzzed. The same commander's voice barked, "Chief Blake, stand down and leave the area. Now." He stepped outside, but the SUV was already gone. Ghost 9 had vanished again. For days, the encounter haunted him. He filed a confidential report, redacted within 12 hours. Command refused to acknowledge it. But something bigger was moving behind the curtain. 3 weeks later, Aaron received a secure envelope. No return address. Inside, a photo. Grainy, satellite angle. Ghost 9, standing at a border checkpoint in Eastern Europe, face turned away. On the back of the photo, handwritten words, "You were right to remember me. Stay ready." Aaron knew what it meant. She wasn't gone. She was preparing for something. Months passed. Strange reports started emerging. Anonymous leaks exposing hidden operations, corrupt contractors, unmarked facilities. Every piece linked back to one codename. Janine. Then, one night, Aaron got a call at 3 a.m. "Chief Blake," the voice said, "You're requested at base. Priority Alpha clearance." When he arrived, senior officials were gathered around a briefing screen. The general turned to him and asked, "You saw her, didn't you?" Aaron nodded. "Yes, sir." The general sighed. "She's dismantling them. Every name, every account tied to that betrayal gone. We try to track her. No digital footprint. She's a ghost for a reason." Aaron looked at the map. "Then why call me?" The general hesitated. "Because last night, she saved 4 of our operatives in Yemen. Left a message on site for you." They slid a note across the table. It read, "Coffee's still warm, Chief." He couldn't help but smile. The ghost was still watching. A year later, on a quiet morning much like the first, Aaron returned to that same coffee shop. Same seat, same mug. But this time, as he sipped, someone left a small folded napkin on his table. Inside was a pendant, her pendant. The one that said Ghost 9 on a napkin, just 3 words, "Mission complete. Rest now." He looked around. She was gone again. But somewhere, somehow, Aaron knew she was still out there. The unseen protector, the forgotten name that once made even Navy SEALs drop their mugs in disbelief. And that's how legends survive. Not in medals or history books, but in whispers, in moments, in stories that soldiers tell over black coffee and silence. The next time someone mentions Ghost 9, remember, heroes don't always die in battle. Sometimes they just disappear when their job is done. And that was today's story, friends. If it gave you chills, if you believe courage still exists in silence, make sure to subscribe to Grow for Justice, because we tell stories that honor truth, sacrifice, and humanity's hidden heroes. And one more thing. Tum Kahan Se Dek Rahiho. Comment below your city or country, because the Grow for Justice family is growing across the world, and I want to know where you're watching from. Until next time, stay inspired, stay aware, and remember, some ghosts fight for justice.